Greetings, lovelies. How art thou? As you see, it's already stuff later. I was about to do a spread, and I had a thought, and three cards came out. And from those three cards, I then drew another three cards to clarify each of those three cards, and then another three cards to clarify those three cards. Um, Now, just laid out the first card I drew to clarify, and then the second one. I drew with the next is in the three sets of the storylines, right? And as you know, sometimes they come on, you know, um, and I've already prayed up and all of that stuff. So you know I'm sending out the love, I'm sending out the protection and the guidance to you all as well. That is always in my prayers. Um, but as I said, I had started, um, the prayer and stuff. But this was, I, however, we have a collective that is basically in the past the cry that there was crying of spilled milk in a slump. This slump actually had him missing out on a lot of blessings that spirit was actually given him from the spirit of the and due to this, missing out on these blessings because they're not got their head up, they got it done and beaten down and whatever, they are in this state of feeling like they've lost the battle. They are not winning. They're instead of living, they're existing. In other words, so you might be feeling a bit 222 as I looked up at my timestamp. Yeah, so sorry, I was just trying to straighten it out. 222 as I looked at the timestamp. So that is we just well we had two this month. 222 portals. It was a 22 portal, and just the other day it was the 222 portal. So that portal itself was really introducing you to those relationships that have made you feel a way and you haven't healed from. So that's possibly why you're feeling like this. It's all in healing. It's really amazing to me. I mean, it's always been amazing to me how the human body functions. But then as you got older, I realized the connection. Um, can't even say older because you could be older shit and have no wisdom. So as you wise up and do studying, and it's not even the form of studying; it's just opening your eyes to uh, a vision that like you can unsee once you see it, because when you cut open a tree, when you cut open even fruits and certain things like the anatomy, the similarities, sorry, my legs start shaking. But it's just amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, so that storyline was that you know, depression, missing out on the blessings, feeling like you've lost the battle. These cards here that you see standing up, once again, it is always but basically, this is how they fell out. It was four cards. This two fell on this two fell like that. So you're being called to be unbothered. Come out of this worry, fear, and emotions, you know. But we also have a person here that is trying to find out what a person's up to or what they're doing. More than likely, when people do stuff like this, they are no longer in your life. Well, maybe in your life, but you know, your energy. They are not able to be close to you to see these things for themselves. So, what it seems like is they're looking you up, possibly getting readings on you. But, yeah, I just thought I'll say that as well before I get into the next spread. The next spread now. Um, what is the Ace of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and the King of Swords? So, this is a blessing, you know. This is a blessing after giving up on giving up on, let's say, the unrequited things. So when I say unrequited, it's basically where if this is a work related issue, this is doing your job and that's that. You're not no longer going to be going over and beyond. If this is a relationship, you are probably on your way out the door or you've already left. But this is like, okay, I see. After spirit saying, because I'm hearing, can you hear me now? So after spirit, listen. And for me to say spirit, and I'm trying to say spirit, yeah, you have been spared so many times. You got a praying grandmother. Ooh, full body goosebumps. Uh, you got a praying grandma. You got a praying somebody, but the song, you got a praying grandmother. And my stomach just started to growl. My third being, you hear my baby girl, she just moaned in her sleep, just dreaming. So while you was dreaming, living an illusion due to someone else's prayer, living or unliving, and if they're unliving, that's their protection. Hello, hi. But yeah, due to it, you have been spared. But spirit is basically saying, you finally heard me. Like after, can you hear me now? You know, can you hear me now? So this is after a point of being broken down over a period of time or seeing your past show itself in the present repeatedly. um, it is now to the point that you're no longer gonna keep your thoughts on those things, those worries, those once again fears. Right. So, you know, when it comes to spirit, spirit don't play, and it is no such thing as coincidence. Everything falls in line. You know, a lot of people don't like when they see a video and everything's laid out. That's fine. I do both. But if it's like you need to do this, then you need to do this, and this is just how it works. But at the end of the day, I do prefer to shuffle where you could know that these are what's popping out because you hear it. Well, you don't see it. How the video. Somebody might be getting vetted, but why did I hear Vatican? Congo so Catholic people. You might have been raised in a Catholic church. The accent come. Mm-hmm. Mercy. Catholic. Orthodox. Pentecostal. There's one body, core body. A shame. Hmm. Um, yeah, so that's that storyline. Next one was I giggled at this because this was just straight off the bat. I ran into it one time because of what I saw in these pictures. Right, you have the emperor out here, you have a Pegasus, and you have a king of Rhodes. So you know the emperor. You know he's ready to lay down the law. It's about that action. You know, it's not talk, he's doing. But we got air here, and we got fire. But there's the emperor, we got the king of rods. So he's like not as aggressive as the emperor, meaning, the emperor is running the empire, but the king, he runs his kingdom. So at the end of the day, it's like, hey, but anyway, this storyline is an upcomer. You might be a bit younger. I feel like, goosebumps again, yeah, confirmation, I love it. But you might be a little bit younger than these counterparts have, these associates, these affiliates. As you hear the words that are coming, this is just coming. And for me to use these words, it's just confirming more of what I saw in these cards. But anyway, this is a youngster. Um, might not be too much far behind these older gentlemen, but this is definitely masculine energy I am feeling right here, definitely. A lot of ego as well. So be careful out there in these streets, but this little youngster's up and coming, and what is that movie? I'm seeing this boy's face. Top Boy. Top Boy. You might be from the UK or those parts. Um, but yeah, you might be fair skinned. I'm seeing a fair skin, low cuts, average build, average height, Tim's. Okay, goodness. And you strap. Mm-hmm. Strap. However, I'm coming up that. Anyway, you coming up and you got some bosses now that's looking at you. You got one that's like, okay, I see potential. But with that, he feels a bit threatened. You got another that's straight fucking, I don't like this little nigga. But yeah, you ready to take over. You ready to take over these streets or whatever it is. But all right, Spirit, I got you. Clean it up. That's for a limited few. Take what's yours, leave the rest. Same storyline, but Spirit said it's work related. You might be new to a job, new hire. People on a job is jealous. You're doing their work. Mercy. This is all one story. This is all one story. This is all one story. Because everything has piggybacked off of each other. Even how I saw the first three cards pop up. That was a storyline how I think of it. Five of Cups, the Emperor, the Ace of Cups. Five of Cups, Emperor, Ace of Cups is basically stating after of depression. You have now gathered your thoughts. It's time for action. You are now feeling like you can run this, and Spirit's blessing you. You are going to be blessed, right? Then you got the second bunch of cards. You got the Four of Cups. They just, sorry, yeah, Four of Cups, Page of Swords, Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So this is, you missed out on the blessing. this is also coming in with this new thought, not ready to quite put in the work, but you are gonna end up there. Then the next one's the Five of Swords, the King of Rods, and the King of Swords in reverse. So this is having feel like you've lost the battle, but now you're ready to take action. And this action is it's not grounded though. It's really not grounded because the King of Swords is in reverse. So you know, it was no thought really put to this action. You're just feeling like, okay, I lost. I'm gonna just try another way. So basically, it's giving, are you insane doing the same thing and expecting a different result? You know, that's what that's saying on their storylines. But anyway, it all fits because of the fact of the situation, right? Even that up top, I'm sorry, I took a minute and I'm just looking at the cards and, feeling all of that. But even the top ones really level up too. But we have a lot of action, emotion, and the thought, the only thought that actually came up in upright position is the Page of Swords. So this is just saying that this new idea might be young. It might be. Let me just get another deck. I just want to clarify the Page of Swords just to see something right first. Spirit, clarify the Page of Swords, please. Page of Swords. Hmm. The Page of Swords is clarified with this Nine of Cups in reverse. So this thought has came off of being in content with how life's cards have been played, you know. And of course, you could always rewrite that chapter. You don't delete it because that's your testimony. That story itself is gonna help somebody else on their journey. Period. So do not delete it. Always keep that lesson. But yeah, move on. Oh, sorry, I had to get a little sippy sip. I just want give me advice. Thank you. Stop stressing. Another call for advice for the collective. Another call for advice. Thank you. All will be revealed. One more spirit. And it's time to find balance because that's saying you're off balance. On the bottom, I see the devil in reverse. So that is advice here is let go of these attachments, come out of this bondage, any toxicities, addictions, or anything that you have. It's time to let go. It's time to release 1991. You might be born in 1991, but I saw that on my timestamp. You can look that angel number up. That is a mirror number, as you know. Mirrors reflect what is shown, but in the opposite direction. I don't know why when you look up a mirror or ask what is a mirror number, they give you the same number repeatedly. So in other words, it'll be 12, 12, 13, 13, 19, 19. but I would say my mirror numbers are reflectable. So 1991, look that up. Um, Ones and nines. Nines are endings, ones are beginnings. So in between there, you have to make a decision to get to that 10 for completion. But you can look it up, 1919. I mean, not 1919, 1991. Look up 1919 too because it affected the situation. Um, I said it. Spirit allowed it to come out. So 1919, 1991, 2, okay? And every time I say 1992, I think of 1992. So that might be a significant year for you as well, 91, 92. Um, but yes, I'm just gonna leave this as is, right where it is. Everything is for a reason. There is no such thing as coincidence. So this is gonna find who it's meant to find. And if it finds you, take what's yours, leave the rest. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, my lovely. Leave a comment. Let me know if it resonates. Um, Once again, this is your girl Bella. You're listening to the Quiet Storm 444. Always love. It is always respect. And you are always honored on this channel. Stay loyal to self, my lovelies. Later, later.